I am a physicist. I studied physics and astrophysics, and I had spent about 3 years doing independent research as an academic. And I reached a point in my life where I would have liked to have made the transition into the private sector. The transition into the industry is never easy for an academic because we work a certain way at the university. And then you arrive in the industry, no one has prepared you for this. And then we work in another way. And a different, something else is required. And this is where you come in, Jens. Is that I felt that after my first entry point into the private sector, I thought now I need help directing my career in a direction so that I can be more creative, I can be more innovative, and I can be closely involved, actively involved in the science. It felt like a task which was literally impossible. You're standing in front of a huge challenge that you're not prepared for, and it feels literally impossible. There's also the pressure of I need to find something immediately. There's the pressure of that you feel that, oh, I've spent 3 years doing this. I need to find something new. I need to orientate myself and navigate the industry. And it felt like quite an impossible task. The most important aspect of the coaching was it's the fact that you gave me really personalized and tailor-made advice for my specific situation. And the fact that, and I still remember the work that went into reformatting and preparing my CV for my next application. And this was so useful for me is that for the first time in my career, with many rounds of editing, you sent me a lot of feedback and I incorporated the feedback. I at the end of it, I sat with a version of my CV that was really tailored towards what did you do? What was your contribution? And very importantly, it highlighted my skills, the skills, the experience, and what I uniquely bring to the table if I were to work on a puzzle, on a topic. I think the coaching helped a lot with identifying what my strengths are. And I am certain that if I sat at my desk and Googled companies in Austria, I would never have found the companies you assisted me in finding. Because we clarified what my strengths and my weaknesses are, but we're going to focus on the strengths and then the industries that we can present it to. And like I said, and this is a common thing for academics, we are not used to doing that. And so this is where the coaching helped me a lot, is to identify what are the future-orientated industries, the future-orientated sectors, and what are the company profiles, understanding the profile of companies that might be a good fit for me. I found a position at an innovative company in Vienna. And I remember seeing the job description and being able to recognize for myself that I am very well suited for this position. Because before that, I would have been riddled with self-doubt. the group coaching was interesting. I at first thought, I don't know if I want to do the group, be in the group setting and talk about my situation. But what I found very useful about the group setting is that we got weekly little writing exercises, feedback about how our week went, what our week was like, given the topics that we discussed in the weekly sessions. So what I found very useful was providing written feedback where I could put my thoughts and my impressions and my perspective on paper. It had a similar effect to journaling, I would say, because every week I sat down and it was really very clear for me. This isn't an exercise that I'm doing for you. It's not homework for you that I have to submit, that I have to hand in. I'm actually doing it for myself, and writing down my thoughts, reflecting on what I achieved that week, what progress I made that week, and how I feel about it, and are these thoughts realistic that I'm having by putting them onto paper. I thought that thought was very useful. Also, what I thought was very helpful and supportive about the group session was the fact that I was hearing other people's stories and I could see commonalities. I could see what I have in common with other people who might be working in completely different industries. There were two moments. There was the moment I said it out loud. I said, this is the best version of my CV I've ever had. And that was the one moment. And the second moment was really the process of starting to apply for jobs and then getting positive feedback. And I guess there's a third one. I distinctly remember one of my first interviews that I did. I was very nervous. It's the first interview. And the interviewer said that I had a very good CV. They gave me fantastic feedback on my CV. And that's the best thing, to get outside approval, outside validation as well, that you have something to offer. My advice to scientists who are trying to make the transition into the private industry, and I know there comes a particular point in our academic lives, it's maybe after a master's degree, or perhaps it's after your PhD, after you've graduated from your PhD. Imposter syndrome is a big problem amongst academics, the self-doubt. And I think the most important thing is to really go out there and find the career coach that you have the feeling we could work together. So find and seek out the advice earlier rather than later. My first industry position, I went about it with imposter syndrome, the way we would do it in academia. With my academic CV. But I think it's a good idea to first talk to a career coach who really understands what's happening in the industry and can help you research that.